Ladies and gentlemen, this is the state of the scene.
Yo, what the fuck is up, Warped Tour? The state of the scene at SOTS Podcast on all social media. Sam here with Marcos. What the fuck is up, Marcos?
Gang shit, my boy.
Hell yeah.
Gang type shit.
What do you mean by that?
We're going to keep that on the DL.
Oh, okay. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to incriminate ourselves.
Sure.
Yeah. No, I understand completely.
Type shit.
We've been gone for a minute, but we got a bunch of fun stuff to talk about. Big new songs for Black Veil Brides, Fit for a King, I Prevail, and more. Plus, My Chemical Romance have moved and continue to keep moving. Ozzy Osbourne retires, but not before dethroning Sleep Token, and tons more. But before we get to all that, everything you need can be found in the description of this episode, including our playlist updated weekly with every song you hear on the show and more. Socials, merch store, Discord, and Patreon. Those links in the description of this very episode. Patreon.com/SOTS podcast. If you want to support the show, you receive access to our deluxe episode feed. This week, we catch up on the news and new music we missed while we were gone, including big new tunes from Ice Nine Kills, Of Mice and Men, and We Came as Romans, Marcos. There's so much to talk about. We're not going to fuck around. We're getting right into it. Patreon tiers start as low as just $3 a month. Let's do this.
The news.
In the news this week, My Chemical Romance have released a new promotional clip titled Over Fields, the national anthem of drag.
Over fields that light the fire in our hearts that burns true.
The band recently returned to the stage for the first time since last year's When We Were Young Fest, kicking off their Long Live the Black Parade tour in Seattle on Friday, July 11th, with an absolute spectacle of production featuring murder, political intrigue, and a massive set list that found hits and deep cuts added alongside a full performance of the Black Parade. But there was controversy, Marco. Some fans have gone so far as to deem the show, quote, woke, unquote, due to its political narrative and have threatened to sell their tickets.
This is like just like half a degree off from, do you remember the SNL skit that it's the guy who does Barry and he's from It. What actor is that?
Bill.
Who does like the
Yeah, Bill
Hader.
Yes.
Who did like the SNL skit where it's just like, come down to the latest club. We've got the national anthem of drag.
Yeah.
We've got political assassination or intrigue.
Right. We have suicide bombers.
Right.
We have I'm Not Okay, I Promise.
We have the Black Parade.
Yeah, everything and more on Long Live the Black Parade tour featuring My Chemical Romance and exclusive support depending on your location. What do you think of all this? Let me start at the top here. Technically, okay. Technically, we have a new My Chemical Romance song as of today.
Okay, wait.
Have you not heard this?
No.
Bro, how have you not heard this?
Over Fields, is that what it's called?
Yes. The national anthem of drag. This is out. Initially, I thought it was like a promotional video, but technically they released that same video on YouTube and sort of declared it an anthem. So for all intents and purposes, I feel like My Chemical Romance is saying this is a song. This is the first song from MCR5.
No, but have like publications
like what?
Who aren't us.
Yeah, bitch. No, I'm a publication. I fucking count. If I post it,
right, if
it matters.
More important than us, have they picked it up in a meaningful way?
I can't believe you're treating us, the show, like the fucking tree that fell in the forest that no one heard. Did Rock Sound cover it?
SOTS Crave coming at me right now.
Sure. Did Alt Press mention it?
Well,
I don't remember.
Just saying.
Did Clash Magazine bring it up? Did Consequence of Sound post about it? I don't fucking know. Did I share it? Yeah.
Yeah, but like, is it
what?
How long is it?
It's like 1:10. It's not technically a song. It's not even fucking Michael Romance himself singing it. So like
Michael Romance.
technically,
Do you stop listening to that band if that's his name, actually?
no, I mean, for the same reason I don't stop listening to Motionless in White.
Right.
No,
Sure. All right.
absolutely not. I actually like gimmicks.
Chris Motionless is a little bit better than Michael Romance, though.
Is it though?
Ain't it?
It's the same to me.
No.
They're fucking, actually they're literally the same guy.
I'm
to
not
me.
going to let you have this.
Chris Motionless and Michael Romance are the same guy to me.
Not letting you have this.
So you haven't heard the national anthem of drag.
Nope.
Fascinating. So no opinion there from Marcos on that one. Did you see any of the clips coming out from their first performance in Seattle?
No,
For the
I
tour?
don't. I don't
Holy shit,
want
bro.
to.
You don't want to?
Well, from like a.
Oh, you don't want to be
speaking as someone who has tickets to this. I don't
Sure.
want to have that spoiled for me. This, and it's a bit of a tangent. Kind of pull back from this a little bit. Does the idea of a like, okay, so say they're doing this every night, but like the story just continues to progress
Yeah.
date to date. Is that like the next great barrier
Of narrative storytelling.
within like a concert that needs like
I like this idea.
right?
I like this idea. So you're saying in order to expand to the medium, each show would become its own unique part of an ongoing story told across
Right.
the tour. I would be into this. Here's how I would be most into this.
Okay.
If each night was like let's say you did this for a new album and like each night got one new song played as like a continuation of the story. Yeah, I would be super fucking into this.
Yeah.
We've been over it a million times, Marcus. I love the theatricality. I love it. I love when bands are over the top. I like that My Chemical Romance went out on stage, were kidnapped, had politicians murdered, and fucking other weird, covered themselves in blood, other whatever fucking weird shit this band does.
I mean, speaking of weird shit this
I'm
band
into
does,
it.
I personally appreciate the fact that like, and I enjoyed like the last couple of tours where we went out and we dressed as like a ghost or a cheerleader
Right.
or whatever.
The
But
9/11
like
towers.
going to My Chemical Romance, knowing that you're gonna see Gerard Way dressed as God intended him,
Yeah.
in that fucking Black Parade getup,
Mhm.
like man, shivers down my fucking spine.
You're right,
I
because
need to go see that.
there's like there reaches a certain it's such a fine window, right? Because it's like part of you wants to go see like if you were to go see someone like Iggy Pop perform live, right? People were talking about recently, like, man, this 75-year-old guy does not need to be performing with his shirt off, right? But that's his thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's his thing.
Say so.
But there's like a fine window where it's like, I'm still getting exactly what I want before like we pass the point where
One
it
song
becomes
later.
like comical.
You're
You know what
right.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like 10 years from now, is it like somebody get this 67-year-old man off the stage in his cheerleader outfit? But like right now, we're still in that sweet spot.
Sure. I think we are.
Yeah.
I think we are. For
Marcos, guy who found out today that My Chemical Romance is a little woke.
sure. Tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, brutal.
Because they got a lot of good songs, Sam.
It's just crazy to me that we're still finding this guy, you know, guy who finds out American Idiot was critical of America, right? You know what I mean? Guy who's just beginning to understand that Rage Against the Machine does not fuck with the cops, you know?
This is like the reality where like there are robots that have managed to like find their way into society, but like they all still are too stupid not to have a tell.
Okay, so you're saying we're seeing like the first wave of like Russian bots?
like these AI bots that have like
Yeah.
they've blended in almost seamlessly,
Right.
but then like
But
a
they don't
band that
understand
is classically woke says something woke and they're like, get a load of these fucking losers,
Fuck,
you know?
we forgot to upload the MCR Wikipedia to their page. God damn it. God damn
And
it.
they just expose themselves like that.
They really do expose themselves though, coming out and being like, the fuck? This band who came together after 9/11 and broke up when they felt the world no longer needed them, only to come back together when Donald Trump was in office is woke?
Or like another reason where I was just like, is is Sabrina Carpenter a little too sexual?
Yeah,
Like-
yeah.
What are we talking about, guys?
Girl is getting double penetrated on stage in between
Jesus
performances. No, you haven't seen those clips either.
I guess I haven't.
Are you not on the internet?
I'm detached.
Am I alone out here?
I'm detached.
Am I the last guy on the internet?
You are. Yes, you're the worst possible Netflix show. You're the
Yeah.
end game.
It's like that movie where like everybody in the world has died and there's only one guy left, but it's just me. Like I don't go and enjoy the outdoors and the peace and quiet. I'm still just on the internet.
You're still averaging like 14 hours of screen time a day. The movie is they never leave their house, not because it's like radioactive outside, but you're still just like painfully addicted.
The world's been over for 15 years and I still like I'm not aware of it. Like the bots,
You're still
because the
catching up
bots
on
are still
things.
there. I think the world is still operating as normal. Yeah.
Just
Final thoughts on MCR. Yeah.
The goat's back
Yes.
doing goat type activity, right? Like that's
Right.
what more can you
Chewing
ask
on
for?
grass. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, Margos. MCR stay on top. Moving on, though, Bring Me the Horizon have released Low Files, featuring 23 reworked lo-fi tracks, including such hits as Can You Feel My Heart, Sleepwalking, Kool-Aid, and Drown. Ollie Sykes shared the following on the new album, quote, the original idea for our go-to record was actually something more chill, a record you could put on while studying or zoning out. It ended up way more chaotic than I originally intended, so I guess this is another attempt at creating something low-key. I listen to a lot of lo-fi when I'm working or feeling anxious, so I hope this record can do the same for others, end quote. The band worked with the likes of Casio, No Spirit, Low File, who you may know from Issues, to reimagine the tracks. Marcus, funniest part of this quote, real quick, is him going, we tried to make a soft record, and the first time around, it was too chaotic, so everyone is bitching about Bring Me the Horizon going soft. They can't even when they try.
When they intentionally
try.
Right. A lot of purpose behind it there too.
They had to send this one to a secondary party to make soft Bring Me the
Multiple
Horizon
third
song. They don't
parties.
know how to not be heavy. It's in
Yeah.
their blood.
He's got to be a little careful how he's talking about that.
What do you mean? In what way?
EP. As the lone surviving go-to truther, Sam,
Yeah.
God tier EP that deserves like a vinyl release. Between this
They never
and,
got a
and
vinyl
him
release?
recently like dismissing Mother Tongue as like a song no one wants to hear live.
Yeah. I
Or
didn't
not
care
Mother
for
Tongue,
that
it was
either.
Medicine, which is a little bit more frustrating as a fan of another fucking
Yeah, but that-
ammo truther over here.
That was post Jordan Fish breakup. My man was in his feelings. Like, we can't trust what
I'm
he was
saying,
saying.
like, if this was any closer to that breakup, he could have
Yeah.
gotten real disrespectful for a second.
That's true.
Did
Did you check out any of this?
I did check this out. Did you?
No, I only listened. Can You Feel My Heart came up on my release radar, and I was like,
It
I
does-
got it. You
It
know
does
what I
open
mean?
the CP as well.
I was like, this is cool. I get it. I'm gonna put this in my back pocket and listen to it when I need it.
Well, I mean, one question leading off of that is like, how much? So Ollie Sykes says, when I'm feeling, when I'm working, feeling anxious, I listen to lo-fi. Lo-fi for you?
You asked me how often I listen to lo-fi
Is that ever on the menu?
chill study beats? Never. Absolutely never.
Never?
Nothing personal. No, I'm on that wavelength.
Do you think you'd be a better person if you did?
I think it might help with certain things like maybe my concentration or anxiety levels. Like the fact that I chill out and listen to something like Blind Equation, which we're reviewing later on the show, is probably maybe not the healthiest way for me to
Okay.
come down, so to speak.
Okay.
But also I am at that stage where it's like there's certain levels of like even heavy music at this point, which I could listen to very passively as if it's
Sure.
lo-fi. I'm not saying this isn't for me. I didn't run out to go listen to it. You
Okay.
did though.
So,
You were all 23?
whoa, pump those brakes. I mean, I didn't personally go
2-hour
run out
album?
and check this out. No, it was one of those things where it was just like I had a long drive ahead of me, and I was sitting there, and I saw it pop up, and I was like, "Yeah, fuck it, let's see what this is all about. Let's see what ideas were here that ultimately drove the passion behind wanting to release something like this."
Was there anything particularly unique that stood out to you?
I mean, I'm going to kind of indirectly answer your question in that
Okay.
I had a pretty good time with what I listened to. So that kind of answers your question. And that,
Okay, you were
like,
surprised at how much you enjoyed it?
Yeah. And
How
and
often do
so-
you listen to lo-fi?
So infrequently.
Okay. More than me, but not much.
Yeah, but I'm talking like an hour a year.
Okay.
Like it's
Okay.
on for like 20 minutes if I got to do something real
More
important
than
or
me,
something.
less than every other single person. Got it.
You could say that.
Which puts us
I
still at the
actually hit my
bottom.
quota, so I'm done for the rest of the year.
Yeah, understandable.
I did
truthfully.
only make it about halfway through. I got to about Drown, which I think is sort of like the halfway point. But I mean, there was a ton of stuff that I was really enjoying on there. One that really stuck out was like Follow You. I don't know. I do want to pull up that playlist.
Did it feel like it stuck out because in some capacity that's probably one of the stronger melodies in Bring Me's arsenal?
Everything that's extremely like melody driven is so easy to fucking listen to here. And I will find it just shortly.
Sure.
So, I mean,
I really liked, this is a quick aside, I really like the artwork for this because they like repurposed that like strange little character from Next Gen.
yes.
And they also released something today, which I wasn't entirely sure what it was, but it was some sort of like desktop like assistant. And it's that weird little like flying creature that's like a
that.
metal
I like
bug.
that.
I didn't like really engage with it, but it was something I wanted to circle back to and kind of see what it was all about.
All right, so a couple of lies. I made it to Seen It All before, which is a couple tracks after Drown.
Okay.
In total, that's only 10 tracks, though.
Is there a
out
lot of ammo on this?
So, I mean, we just talked about how apparently this band doesn't like Medicine anymore, but like Mother Tongue's on there, Medicine is on there.
Yeah. He didn't mean it when he said he didn't like. He didn't
maybe
mean
not.
it.
Maybe not. Then there's some other ones like some of the ones that don't stick out are like Dark Side, which is actually a song that's done very well for this band.
I'm
out of
sure,
nowhere.
but I think personally Dark Side is one of their blander songs, and I think that maybe because of that it probably overperformed.
Sure. I guess I'm tackling it more from like in absence of melody in that song, like a
Got it.
real
Okay.
powerful like anchor to it versus something like Follow You just slides, Sam. It's
Sure.
such an enjoyable
Let me-
and then Sleepwalking as well.
Is Sempiternal as far back as this goes?
I want to say yes. Dig it
Because like
Doomed,
obviously
Avalanche.
we were all kind of like waiting with bated breath
It
to
is.
see if
it is.
like
yeah. If they were gonna do
Medusa
Pray
or
for
Stevie
Plagues.
Wonder was gonna like sneak onto this bad boy.
Yeah. They
But
didn't.
even like so even like Diamonds Aren't Forever or
Nope.
Chelsea Smile.
Nope.
Okay, gotcha.
Would have been cool to see them on there for sure, but they're not there.
Arrows are buried. They're gone.
Now, kind of discussing it a little bit more, seeing that like, I mean this actually did very well in like the UK, like charting wise.
So for what it's worth, this charted in Spotify's top 10 global debuts.
that's
so
I think
it
I was referring to.
it did incredibly well for all intents and purposes.
Well, in all fairness, it's technically 23 new songs from a band with like 15 million monthly listeners on Spotify. So at some point, it's like I'd be a little surprised if it somehow didn't. There is a lot of appeal in lo-fi. I think that's obviously one of the driving factors in this band releasing something like this.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of after all this discussion, I mean, what is your like? How long do you think it'll be until you check something out off this intentionally?
I mean, that's a great question. I think that without a shadow of a doubt, before the end of the year, I will listen to this just to sort of, not because I think this will make my top 10 or anything like that, but just because when I close out the year, I kind of like I like to be able to say that I listened to everything. You know what I mean? Like I checked out everything that was relevant. So maybe it's next week, maybe it's 3 months from now. You know what I mean?
Any artists that you would like to see do something like this?
I was going to hit you with this question too, because it's in the back of my mind. Now, for me, I think one that I would really love is Icy Stars. Because I just think I think of that as like an electronic band who also has like some really incredible melodies. I think that like almost the individuals in that project feel like they would be well suited to take their own music and transition to something completely different like lo-fi. Well, not completely different, almost like oddly adjacent in some sense because it's so electronically fueled, right?
Sure.
Which I guess maybe lo-fi isn't necessarily, but I guess that band sort of popped up in my mind as being somebody who could be like fun for that. And then I think there would also be the novelty of like, how far could you take this? And like, could you take Lorna Shore and make a lo-fi record? Like,
Totally.
what's the biggest
Totally
like?
could.
Because that's kind of what I like. There's some level of this Bring Me the Horizon album where it's just like, you turned Kool-Aid into a lo-fi song. It's just a fun novelty, right? How far can we take the novelty?
Well, and honestly, I am eager to see you eventually check this out because there are tracks where it's like, oh, this is a heavier one. How are they going to make this sound? And it's like, it is so fucking disarming at times listening to tracks off of this and realizing like how familiar you can make something like that feel.
Right, almost
while
the idea that somebody can
removing
whistle.
all of like the teeth from it.
Right, like the idea that someone can almost hum or whistle a song and you still know exactly what it is.
100%.
Yeah. Margos, Ollie Sykes was in the news as well this week as him and Allisic, artist and wife of his, welcome their new twins, Gray and Zelia, into the world. Now,
this is a win for humankind.
Sure, right? Like we're building the next generation of the scene one child at a time, right?
We just guaranteed another like 100 years of metalcore.
Aaron Pauley and his wife recently had a child. Yeah. Ryan from Fit for a King and his wife recently had a child. Like slowly but surely, we're building the next alternative army, right? The bands who will
Avengers,
carry our children. Yeah. Now there was a lot of people most people were incredibly happy for Allisic and Ollie, but I did see a lot of feedback on the names and maybe
we're going there.
A grand missed opportunity to really take advantage of the Bring Me the Horizon in particular's legacy and to carry it forward, right?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like, you know how a band who's inspired by another band will like name themselves after a song?
Mm-hmm.
You should be naming your children after like your top 2 hits. You know what I mean?
I don't disagree one bit.
It's like poop, Throne and Drown. You know what I mean? Like y'all are named after the Heaters.
Drown Sykes is whew.
Would have gone crazy,
Right.
you know? Again, missed opportunity.
I had the opinion of Shadow and Moses, of course, being right there.
Great choices.
I
I saw some people saying...
saw some bad choices.
No. There's no bad choices.
I saw some Chelsea and Grin.
I saw There Is a Heaven.
Right, Chelsea Smile. Or
Right. I mean, it just feels like a lot of missed opportunities here, right?
There Is a Heaven, There Is a Hell. Full name is crazy.
Go To and Low File.
Going to.
Okay, yeah, that as well.
Yeah.
Again, so much missed opportunity. But you know,
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
yeah, don't lie to me.
I'm called Gray. I don't mind it. I'm called fucking Zelia. I don't mind that shit either.
No, they're not bad names.
These are
Nobody's
okay
saying,
names.
No. Nobody's saying they're bad names. Nobody's saying these are bad names. They're lovely names.
Sure.
They're lovely names, but unfortunately, they're not Suicide Season and Sempiternal. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
This is what I mean by missed opportunity. Okay. Like, you fumbled the ball, but you did it at, like the 5-yard line. So
is this are they
so close?
Are they planting the seeds?
Yeah, they already did, homie. That's how we got these twins, dog.
I know how that works.
Yeah, are they planting more seeds?
No, are they just like, yeah?
That's a personal question.
Yeah,
for them.
You don't think Gray is Bring Me related? Check in 3 years from now when that's name of the next album. Or, I love
Post-Human Gray.
I love my daughter so much. Right. Exactly.
Are you saying that these 2 children are a tease for the next era of Bring Me the Horizon? Is this a long play?
Could you fucking... Also, Drop and Dead was just there.
Oh my God.
What are we doing, Sykes?
So disappointed. Ozzy Osbourne alongside Black Sabbath performed live for the last time ever this past week. Massive show that included performances from Metallica, Slayer, Gojira, Lamb of God, and many more, inclusive of Ghosts, Tobias Forge, Papa Amkratis himself, and Sleep Tokens #2, plus a performance from Youngblood that seemed to leave the internet with its collective jaw dropped.
Jaw on the fucking floor. There's so much to dissect here, Sam.
Yeah, first and foremost, I wrote this when I thought we were recording last week. So when I say this past week, I mean this past week.
Which some of you may know as 2 weeks ago.
Correct. Go ahead.
Right. So, Ozzy Osbourne, Sam. Mm-hmm.
The Prince of Darkness himself.
Bow before him.
Boomer Ollie Sykes.
The first Ollie Sykes.
Right. Ozzy Osbourne, the first of his name. Yes.
Black Sabbath lo-fi album. You in or you out?
Oh, shit. You know what? As a matter of fact, I think everyone's looking at Bring Me the Horizon right now and thinking about the money they're leaving on the table. You know?
I'm saying.
Like, Lo-Fi's phone blowing up right now. Everyone's like, hey, you take a look at,
Hello? Who is this?
Hey, can you look at, hey,
Metallica?
This is Erra. You know our album Drift?
They only want Drift touched up?
Yeah, that's the only one. They're doing, because they're going to roll out individually. They're going to do one for each album, right? Like Bring Me the Horizon blew their whole load on this one album. But in reality, you should be doing like one album at a time. Drag it out. You should be top 10 global debut once every 3 months.
But and if you're Black Sabbath, it's certainly possible.
Oh, Sleep Token?
You have the amount of material.
Sleep Token lo-fi?
We're not going there yet.
Okay.
We're not going
we're circling back to Black Sabbath. Marcus, did you feel, you know that thing where it's like Luke Skywalker died and everybody like in the Star Wars universe pauses for a moment because they feel like a soul leaving like the Force?
Sure.
Do you think the metal community, like unbeknownst to themselves potentially, all stopped at one point after this performance? Like they felt like the gravity leave for a moment, you know what I mean?
I think potentially. And I don't know, I guess I say all this from the frame of reference of like not realizing it was happening, and then like as it is occurring, coming to terms with like the closure of like this band that I don't really ever listen to, but like obviously extremely influential and important, and Ozzy Osbourne, like who doesn't know them? Like the immense FOMO of not being there.
It's so funny you say that. A, because you are, for all intents and purposes, not a Black Sabbath fan.
I'm not a Sab guy.
I'm not going to do this to you because I respect you.
Shut the fuck up.
But if I hit you with a name 3 songs right now,
I couldn't do it.
It'd lay you out.
I couldn't do it.
Funniest thing that happened to me? Yeah. What do you got?
We're not doing this.
You can take a shot.
That's Out of Hell.
Okay.
Fuck.
Crazy Trade.
Lord of the Night. I don't know. Stuff like that.
War Pig.
War Pig.
At one point, I was talking to our dad about this, you know, because I was like, my dad knows Ozzy Osbourne, and he goes, man, I wish I could have been there for this. And I'm like, my boy, in my entire life, you have not gone to a singular concert. Don't start playing now.
Blood has never walked over to a jukebox and was like, I'm going to put you on to something.
Black Sabbath has not been brought up in conversation maybe more than one time in my whole adult life. Right. And now he's talking about how he wished he could have been there, bro.
He's got like a collection of vinyls. The Black Sabbath one's clearly like the least touched. Least listened
like, I don't want to call my dad out on a podcast because that's like slightly disrespectful, but like some real false valor.
In some cultures they would never dare.
False valor, man.
No, I mean I guess my approach is that or like the FOMO I get is like, okay, wow, this is very clearly based on the amount of people talking about it, the amount of people in attendance, a historical moment in the history of both rock and metal, but also like music, right? And there is a passing of the torch happening here. There's a celebration. This is something that I'm watching like a stream of it. I'm like, wow, this is like the vibes if you were there. Like, can you only imagine?
Agreed. This feels a lot like everybody being excited that Oasis came back, just because like they want to be there for the moment. You know what I mean?
Sure,
This feels like a moment where it's like, is there any band that if they announced that they were playing their last show ever, you would truly move heaven and earth to be there? Because there's been a lot of them for us where we acted like that, and then the time came and passed.
We did not show.
We didn't see that last issue show. We didn't see that last Palisade show.
Well, the answer is Chase Atlantic, but is the only other answer My Chemical Romance? I don't think I care if it's Fall Out Boy.
Do you feel like as an artist you almost owe it to your fan base to give them this opportunity? Because the irony with My Chemical Romance is that like one day Gerard Way was like, my heart ain't in this anymore, and My Chem never played another show again.
Went out
until they
Milk
came back, but
for 10 years.
Yeah. But it's like you didn't know, you didn't have time to prepare, right?
Yeah.
It was like with My Chem, it was like before the hiatus, they played like Reading, and then it was like Reading, whatever the fuck. And then they were like, we'll see you guys later. But it's like you were there, but you didn't know you had to be there, right? You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like Fall Out Boy did this shit to us too, but we didn't know.
If someone announces this, then yeah, like I think it's a very, very, very short list though.
I think it is a short list as well.
And that extends outside of this scene too.
Like who else are you talking right now?
Who else am I talking about?
Miley?
Right now?
Who are you talking about right now?
A little bit of Bieb.
Justin Bieber's final show, you would feel a need to be there?
Never.
Could you give me a legitimate answer? Is there an artist that you actually would feel that way about?
Is it like, can it only be for us like Linkin Park and My Chem?
I mean, those obviously feel like the big ones, right? You bubble the list down from there. We weren't there for the Final Panic at the Disco shows. I don't know if anybody else was either, to be honest.
The fall from grace for so many of these bands is the trouble.
Like, it's got to be someone who, like, their legacy is so strong that, like, the relevance... And
actually, I mean, Bring Me's right there.
Bring Me feels like...
turns around and says, like, my new passion is having twins. Like, Ollie Sykes, like, that's what he says. And I'm done with Bring Me. Then, yeah, I think I have to go see that final performance.
My new passion is having twins is a very funny sentence. Additionally, Marcus, Black Sabbath and Ozzy have returned to the top of Billboard's Hot Hard Rock Songs chart, knocking Sleep Token down from first place for the first time in months. I'm talking since Emergence dropped. Sleep Token has been at the very top of that chart. And like the songs have shifted, like when Caramel dropped, like that hit #1. When fucking Damocles dropped, that hit #1. And then it cycled, and then I think like Emergence popped back up to the top and kind of hung tight for a while. And it took the fucking greatest metal artist of all time, like we're talking the biggest name in the history of the genre, to knock Sleep Token from the top. And like, that may be temporary. Like Sleep Token might take that crown back next week.
Oh, it's temporary. Sam, I don't know. So with all this talk of like feeling a lot of FOMO.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't feel that much FOMO personally.
Personally, I'm saying I had like FOMO here, and for all of like the respect I have for like Ozzy Osbourne as an icon, turned my stomach inside out. The deja vu of seeing another one of our artists back at the bottom.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
Under an Ozzy Osbourne, a Black Sabbath, a fucking Metallica, or whatever. Nope. I am enjoying the throne. I'm enjoying sitting at the top of this hill.
Yeah.
Because a win for Sleep Token, of course, is a win for the SOTS podcast.
You're saying it's our time.
It's our time here at the top. And I I'm not ready to let go.
Yeah, I'm funky.
I don't ever want to see fucking Enter Sandman at the top of another chart ever
with you.
again.
I'm with you.
It spent too long there.
I'm with you.
And I know everyone's fucking sick and tired of Sleep Token
Not
and
this
how
bitch.
fucking well they've been doing. These stupid bitches right here? No,
Nah.
sir.
Never. Sleep Tokens.
Get them
Sleep
at the top.
Sleep Token's my Black Sabbath. Sleep Token's my Black Sabbath.
It's time to have the conversation. Vessel over Ozzy all time? Question mark.
I'll stand on that one, Margos. Chelsea Grin entering the studio next month to record a new album. What the fuck? It's been like 30 years.
Remember it took
feels like 30 years.
No, it doesn't.
It does to me. It
That
fucking
was a
does
double
to me.
album.
We haven't got a single new song from this band since Baby J joined. Known for Darko.
Yeah.
And Spite.
I'm certainly excited for this, of course. Like you said, new member will inevitably change the DNA of this band in some capacity. Curious to see what they sound like.
Yeah.
Curious to see how, with being all of Darko now inside of this band, how they distinguish themselves as a heavy band from sounding like Darko, and how do they choose between Darko songs and Chelsea Grin songs, and which riffs go where, and what, that type of stuff.
Do you think Baby J just closes his eyes and see where each folder the song lands in?
This one has a blue energy to it. That goes in the blue Chelsea Grin folder.
Yeah.
This one has a red, and that goes, of course, to whatever. I did want to commentate on the fact that, like, it took Chelsea Grin so fucking long to release something after Eternal Nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's starting to feel like the dam is completely broken, and it's just water.
Man, when did those fucking double albums come out? Was it that
I think
recent?
It was 23, 24. I think we got one last year.
Because it feels like I've been waiting a really fucking long time, and I thought this band had already been in the studio and we were about to get a new album. Hostage is their most played song. That's actually really impressive.
Damn.
Love to see it.
So Eternal Nightmare is like 2018?
Yes. And then Suffer in Hell was 2022, and Suffer in Heaven was 2023.
Oh, it's been a bit longer. Okay.
And when I say 2023, I mean March. So we're over 2 years since that release.
Okay, sure.
And it'll be like 3 years by the time this album comes out.
Okay.
I'm justified in my feeling. It's been too long.
Who are they entering the studio with? Do we know? Is there anyone you want to see them enter the studio with?
No, whoever the fuck they want, to be honest.
Do you think Zach Cervini gonna mix the shit out of this?
No, Zach Cervini isn't touching this.
He ain't touching this.
You think like a Will Putney would touch this?
I feel like Putney's someone this band's recorded with, but
You think they
don't know.
self-produce? Is Darko all self-produced? Because
AJ
if it
produces?
is, I would say do that.
I think he does.
Based on how fucking good that Darko album was earlier this year.
This is a very
I
short
trust.
bullet. What do you mean? What's like your expectation level here?
For it to be extremely good. I think the
Those
double album
double
ended up
albums
being
a bit-
underwhelming.
Was it a bit too big of an idea for this band?
Yeah, I think you probably could have trimmed it down and choose your 10 best songs, and you probably would have ended
One
up with
really
like a real
great
heater.
record?
Yeah. But even still, I don't know that those two albums had a song nearly as good as, say, Hostage.
They had some good tracks, but Dead Rose, Hostage.
Yeah.
All those fucking
And for all intents and
bad
purposes, I don't
bitches
even
from
think that
Eternal Nightmare.
that album was like amazing, but it had like some really good shit on it.
It had like 4 or 5 like really crazy ones. For sure.
I just think that like the core of this band now it's like the makeup of this band is like dramatically different, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? But Baby J in particular is someone who I've become overly fond with, and his output has been astronomical, and the quality has been maintained over the course of all of those releases.
Correct me if I'm mistaken. You and I both agreed that last Darko EP or album or whatever was like mostly flawless.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still think it's maybe still potentially my favorite release of the year.
Goddamn.
We'll sort that out. We'll sort that out sometime in like December, but I think back on it very fondly. Marcus, final news story this week.
Surely a normal one.
Yeah, absolutely. Black metal band Profanatica hit the news cycle a couple weeks ago when word spread their vocalist was selling his semen for $50 at the merch table during the band's U.S. headlining tour. And I know what you're thinking. Who would buy that? A fan. Who purchased it?
Am I in the room with this fan?
Where
were you on the night of...
Can you imagine if I reach back here and like I pull out a little vial?
Okay, obviously we got the vinyl collection behind us. Imagine we start the semen collection.
That's so gross. Oh, that's so fucking gross when you say that. It's so disgusting. Oh, is that signed? Yeah.
Signed is crazy. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's
signed is crazy, Sam.
That's one of Ollie Sykes' twins that is not gonna happen.
I do have commentary here, but it's not what people are gonna expect.
Oh god, I don't know if that makes me more or less worried. Yeah.
Where is your self-worth, King?
What do you mean?
$50.
I feel you.
So you put a lot of work into filling that.
We're talking about quite
cylinder.
possibly the most unique memorabilia imaginable.
Sure.
We're talking quite literally one of a kind.
It's not easy to produce it.
Production,
you know.
Sometimes it's really easy.
So I've seen those venue bathrooms, you know,
So something that wasn't like explicit to me is whether this was an object that was like refreshed for every show. You know what I mean? Like you have a brand new $50 fucking little test tube. This
also establishes something fairly problematic, Sam, which is the expectation that you're going to be
it, so I'm curious where you're
going
going
to be
with
selling your semen at every show, you know,
right.
Like that's sometimes you have back nights. It's hard to produce at that level every single night.
I'll never forget.
The touring life is very demanding, Sam.
I'll never fucking forget when Kellen Quinn, right? Who was selling his semen every show, and Ollie Sykes fucking called him on it, right? He fucking called him on it.
Well, you forget that it was a price tag of $80. And that's obviously where he said, you know, that's why you're a cock star, Kellen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's where that all originated.
That's where Cockstar originated from.
The funniest
people forget that, and that's very bothersome to me.
Yeah, but Ollie Sykes, he stood on business, like you said. He clocked.
And he said, my semen, not for sale.
It's free.
I got twins to produce.
It's free. Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
So
priceless.
The funniest fucking part of this story. somebody posted this on Twitter, right? They were like, ew, this is gross. Reasonable response.
Sure.
Honestly, the most reasonable response.
Let
me finish.
Yeah.
Somebody quote tweeted, and this went viral. Wow, Sleep Token fan discovers extreme metal.
Whatever.
And I just love this idea that you're so deep in the real versus fake metalcore hole that you're even willing to go to bat for the fucking semen band. Fucking real metal's jerking off. That's what real metal. You're so deep at this point. Real metal is jerking it into a container and selling it
flat circle. I'll give
Sleep
you that.
Token fans wouldn't get that, idiots. You're so deep.
You call yourselves cum metal fans. I'll show you cum metal.
You're in so deep that you're going to bat for the band that jerked it on the merch table and sold it for $50.
Do you think he got it all in there?
Yeah. Who can say?
Sam has never been more ready to move on from a topic.
The Spotlight.
Every week, we, alongside our listeners, will help shine some light on smaller bands within the scene. In the Spotlight this week, Jacob over on Patreon recommends Kundalini by Deadlands, featuring the Pretty Wild. I've been following the vocalist on TikTok since she started posting Lorna Shore covers years ago. It's been awesome seeing their sound develop as they worked up to their debut album released a couple weeks ago. Shit rips, my boys. You can follow the band at Deadlands Band over on Instagram. Marcus, you and I check this out. Thoughts?
It's a good recommendation, Jacob. And a good shout out that this band's debut just released. This is a compelling enough song and video combination as well, because it's very energetic. You have like 3 vocalists between this band having like 2 vocalists and then a feature as well. Like there's just a ton happening on the screen at all times. There's a snake.
There's a snake.
There's so much happening. And then like you tell me there's an album out too. And I'm like, okay, we're so close to that release window that I'm gonna go check it out.
Video's compelling. Song is convincing.
Album's already out.
Convincing me to go check out this album. Yeah.
Love it.
And Ryan Wolf over on Patreon offers up Summer by June at the Apollo. Members of Hot Mulligan and Super American form a pop-punk supergroup, and it rips. You can follow the band at June at the Apollo on Instagram. Margos, if you like Hot Mulligan and you like Super American, I think you're going to be pretty happy with this fucking song by June at the Apollo. They are combining their fan bases to create a super fan base to go alongside their super group.
Imagine you did love both and you hated the project, though.
I feel like that does happen
That would be,
occasionally.
like,
You know what I
really
mean? Like that does
heartbreaking.
occasionally happen.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a lot of times you get like a super group from projects that you really like. Like what was that one band that had like Keith Buckley from Every Time I Die and like Andy Hurley from Fall Out Boy? And then I heard it and I was like, well, this is okay. Lost to time. We may never remember.
Well, I mean, biggest thing I wanted to add here
Yeah.
is, like, obviously supergroups always welcome. I enjoy them. They're a lot of fun. June at the Apollo is a really tight name.
Strong name, right?
That's a tight name.
Very strong name.
Just really like that one.
Dated Discourse this week. Kicked from the band for not being emo enough? Earlier this month, Screamo band February released their new EP, Run Like a Girl, but not without some controversy. Former member Steph took to social media to share the story behind her separation with the band. Quote, I worked on those songs for almost half a year with them. They tell me, nah, we don't want singing on this EP at all. And no, I shouldn't add certain vocal parts because I don't listen to Screamo enough, or I'm not emo enough, and that I'm just the bassist and should
Insane twist.
stay in my lane. Then they kick me out. Redo the EP we recorded twice together already. First time was through some more than uncomfortable circumstances, too. And rewrite the song I wrote about how no matter what happens, I'll try my best to keep making this band a thing. And how I'm intertwined with them forever because I did care. But now lyrically, it's a diss on me trying to make me out to be a bad person. Naming said song, I hope everyone remembers what you were. Like I was some monster. I have so many fucking screenshots. So many stories that would make them have that title. You have no idea. But I don't want to play the victim, as they say.
There's also so many quotations in this you would not believe.
Yeah, my quotations were intentional and based
Right.
off of what I'm reading. Fuck all this. I deadass don't care what they have to say about me anymore. It's always been 3 against 1. Always. I'm sorry for not being enough and being a, quote, money-hungry poser that is taking advantage of the scene for long enough, end quote. Aha! Right, man. My fucking bad. This shit has been killing me the past few weeks, and this was the end all. There's so much to digest here. So much.
This would be the funniest full song title ever.
I don't
Just
listen
this
to
entire
Screamo enough.
statement.
Oh my god, the whole statement
The
is
whole,
the song
like,
title.
all 900 characters of this statement.
Is that legal? Will
Yes.
Spotify allow you to do
they
that?
would not allow
Do they have a
this.
character limit?
What would happen is the song would end before the scroll was finished. You'd only make it like 2 paragraphs in.
You'd have to make it like a 14-minute song to get it all in there, right?
Genius.
What if the song is this, but played over like a voicemail? With a, yeah? You know how hard that shit would hit?
Just a little bit of that little Midwest guitar hitting a little bit.
It would go absolutely. Well, they're a screamo band, so it would be some sort of not Midwest guitar, a little bit of Northeast guitar. You know what I mean?
This is
A little Southwest bass.
how do you?
Well, how do I what?
Someone to your face tells you you're not emo enough, Sam.
I fucking start crying.
How do you prove?
I start crying right in front of him. I'm not emo
me
enough. It's just, it starts with, what I like is that it start with, because I don't listen to Screamo enough. I'm just like, I'm picturing these arguments in these conversations. You know what I mean? It's like everybody shows up for band practice, and then it's like, you got the 3 other band members, and they're kind of like, they're fucking miserable as hell, right? They're real emo. They're like legitimate emo, right? They're so fucking pissed. They're like, they've never been more depressed in their whole life. And then Steph walks in, right? Big smile on their face. They're like, what the fuck? What? And like, hey, what's going on? Oh, you guys having like a great day today? Everybody's having like a good day today. I'm having the best day ever today. And they're like, yeah, fucking, I guess. Like, what are you listening to? And they're like, a little Nicki Minaj, you know, just kind of bouncing around, just a little all over the place lately. A little Morgan Wallen, you know,
just
all
wake
over
up
the
a little
place,
bit, get the
kinda
blood
like
going.
you know, whatever I'm into. A little OK Go, you know. I'm just like,
yeah.
just kind of, you know, whatever fucking suits the mood, you know, and the mood's good. The mood's kind of great, you know? And it's fucking like, and then it's like, they start checking your emo card at the doors. Like, they're like, no eyeliner again today? And they're like,
It's,
no, just kind of going with like a natural look today. You know what I mean?
To me, it screams so much more that this person is, they're really honing in on like the throwaway thing that they're saying at the very end. It's like, dude, this is the fucking 3rd time this week you've been late to practice. I had to pick you up the other day because you weren't going to make it. You're making us pay for your food. Plus, you don't even listen to Screamo, bro.
I don't listen. I'm sorry. I don't listen to. I don't listen to Screamo enough. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Are you fucking joking right now? Are you kidding me? Are you gonna finish that? Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Every throwaway line just really like, excuse me?
You gotta go home. You gotta go home to your significant other that day, and you're like, out of a job. What the fuck? What? Why? What happened? They said I ain't about that emo life.
So, actually, put yourself in the shoes of the other members.
Yeah, I'm putting myself in the vans of the other members.
Is this more embarrassing for them having to go home to the girlfriend, to the fucking parents, whatever it is?
Sure.
To the boyfriend being like,
Sure.
Man, we had to kick another member out.
Fuck. Was it the emo thing again?
Not the direction I was taking it in, but imagine the chronic issues of never being able to find someone emo enough for your band.
Right.
The direction I was going to take it in and be like, what did they like steal like equipment or something? Like, they're not emo enough. They're just like not quite.
Yeah, no. It was nothing crazy like that. It was just nothing crazy like that. It was like we were listening to like. We were listening to like some Cap and Jazz that day, and they said it was kind of mid, and it was like that was the last straw.
And just
that
like
was the last
straight
straw.
face, their partner being like, emo, Cap and Jazz or who?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Okay, we're not.
And
we're
you,
not. having this argument again. We're not doing this again today.
I thought, didn't Tor, how are we going to pay our bills?
We're not
Like,
gonna fucking-
Tor starts in 3 days. You kicked out a member. Why?
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. It's not about the money. It's about being emo. It's not about the money. I just imagine it's like 3 members dressed all in black and somebody who keeps showing up in like pastels.
Dark purple. Like, it's just like, they were only like a fraction of like off. They were almost emo enough.
One of my favorite quotes here. One of my absolute favorite quotes here. Let me find the exact wording here. It was something along the lines of, "I have so many screenshots." Is one of the funniest fucking things you can say, because we've seen so many bands die to a screenshot. It actually is like, you gotta think that band's pausing for a moment and they're like, what screenshots do you think they got? You know what I mean? Because it's like, you can't be sure. Like, they might have like some good screenshots.
The fucking brain trust.
We talked a lot of shit in that group chat.
There was that one time we were all like really hype on the Sabrina Carpenter album.
Oh my god, bro! If that ever gets out, the band responded, denying claims that they ever questioned her emo integrity.
I want this over.
Quote, regarding drama circulating my ex-bassist, the rumors that me and my band are bullies and told our ex-bassist that she was nothing more than a bassist and to stay in her lane is completely false. Not once have I ever said you are not emo enough. And I can't believe I have to say that.
Dear ChatGPT, write the worst possible scene drama imaginable from the perspective of 2 14-year-olds who used to be in a band but are no longer in a band together, and one of them was not emo enough. Send prompt.
I got you, human. That's how ChatGPT talks.
I don't like that. That was rough.
This
all feels so fucking dumb.
The band also clarified the decision behind her role in the project.
Sure.
Quote, what was expressed in the past was that we felt our strong suit was to be on bass because we felt Aaron was better fit for guitar in the genre we were working towards. The first time that the band split up, she even went to say herself publicly she didn't like Screamo.
Are these adults?
Which is okay. And we still got back together and continued to make music. The band later went on to say they removed her from the project for calling out sick 5 minutes before a sold-out show, and that the lyrics interpreted as being a diss towards her were not at all the case.
Y'all sold out the show? Or are you open for a sold-out show?
No, they said they sold out the show, and they even had people fly in for it, and the bassist called out sick, even though, and they stated this, even though I hadn't included it originally, they saw her drinking and chilling the night prior.
Not the drinking and the chilling. Get me out of this news story. I hate it.
New music this week. Black Veil Brides have dropped brand new song, Hallelujah. This marks the band's first new music since 2024's Bleeders EP back in June of last year and is the first single off the band's upcoming new full-length album, of which the name and release date is yet to be announced. Mark's thoughts on this track and the accompanying music video / visualizer.
So I'm going to start with Bleeders being one of my favorite tracks of last year.
It's also the best Black Veil Bride song, period.
Yes. Does this dethrone Bleeders for me? First impressions, first 48 hours that it's out. The answer is no. Sam is nodding no. I agree with Sam. Is it an interesting track? Yeah, I don't.
It is.
It's got like some choir
song.
elements, and you see like Hallelujah, and that's like, okay, well, I would expect maybe something like that.
This reads to me like Black Veil Brides trying to please too many mistresses at once.
Yeah, this is
people like when we're metal.
Familiar.
They like our anthems. They kind of like this new breakdown stuff. They like the guitar solos. They kind of liked when we wrote melodies. Let's try to do all 25 of those things in this one song, plus throw a choir at the beginning and the end of it and see if it sticks. And I think, unfortunately, this one doesn't stick.
I think give it some time. You will grow.
You think it'll grow on me a little bit?
It's grown on me a little bit already.
It certainly does not pack the punch Bleeders did out of the gate.
Bleeder Sim, and it's so fun to relive this moment. The number of times we have instant classic.
Mm-hmm.
The moment I heard it, I'm like, okay, this is officially this band's song. It is that bitch.
I will add this as well. While this vision, no,
May I
add?
I will cut you off real quick.
May I add?
So I'm gonna add real quick.
Go ahead.
Bleeder's so good. Had to go see Black Veil Brides live like within a month of the drop.
That's factual. Yeah.
Sold 2 tickets like that.
Let me say something else. All right.
Right.
Black Veil Brides are one of these bands who it's very good at like resetting their entire image with each album rollout. So to go from like the Scarlet Cross era to like that sick Bleeders, the fuck is the Tim Burton character, Sweeney Todd look, to then jump into this brand new era with a visualizer that kind of plays out like a VeggieTales story.
Yeah, this one to me,
like the art was nice. I don't think like it was poorly done. It's just not how I would have liked to kick off a new era of this band.
Not something you would expect to be or not something that immediately jumps out as, oh yeah, this is a Black Veil Brides visualizer. It's essentially just the fucking Garden of Eden, and you see like this angel angel turn to a demon and become a snake at some point. It all sounds a lot cooler than maybe the anime. I really didn't like the animation style. And that snake eventually, he'd be talking to Eve, and he's like,
yeah.
You want this apple? And
it's
happens.
a Bible story. It's a Bible story wrapped in a Black Veil Bride song, and a pretty cool animated video. But the problem is that none of it was really singing to me. You know what I mean? It was all just fine. And coming off of Bleeders, I thought we were gonna like hit the ground running. Like Black Veil Bride's on top. Band's never been hotter. And then I get the first single from the brand new album, and I'm slightly underwhelmed. So I'm not going to lie, a little disappointed. I did find this press statement really interesting, though. Vocalist Andy Biersack had this to say on the new track. Quote, "Hallelujah is an important song for us, not only because it is the first track from the new record, but also
single,
yes,
I think is what he...
Well, this is his exact wording. So, but also as a signifier of what's to come for the band. On a narrative level, it represents the themes and ideas I am exploring lyrically on the album. I am fascinated by the current state of discourse and how often we seem to prioritize ideological certainty over the heart and soul of humanity. Over the years, we have developed a tremendous connection with our audience, which is often dismissed or misinterpreted by the scene. The state of. We stand at a unique inflection point culturally, and I want to be able to speak openly about how much I believe in being true to yourself over the fear of mass hysteria or in-group recriminations. When my grandfather's voice spoke to the outcasts in the first moments of our record in 2010, it was a sincere call to arms for all those who feel different. In many ways, this record is the natural evolution of that same idea. This is the heaviest and most vitriolic Black Veil Brides record by far, but more importantly, I believe it is the most sincere and honest record we have ever made, end quote.
There's a lot of good in this statement. I see that this is the heaviest, and I get excited, right? So first things first, Andy Black continues to be like such a fascinating like figure in our scene from the standpoint of like, I mean, just some of the stuff he has to share here is, I mean, bro's dropping recriminations.
He's very well spoken.
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't call this a criticism so much as I hope that everything we're stating here comes to fruition, which is to say that I feel like Andy is maybe beating around the bush and saying that these are all of the intentions without really saying exactly what it is that
Right, leaving the most
to feel
important bit
passionately
out.
about, right?
Yeah.
Like it feels very broad strokes, but I get the impression that it is spun up from something more personal or more personal feelings. So ultimately, I walk away from this being really curious, but I don't feel that, for example, Hallelujah really speaks to, or I don't feel that it speaks to this idea that this is necessarily the most sincere and honest record we have ever made. Nothing about that song felt like it was necessarily saying something or communicating something that would give me that impression. My ultimate read here is that whatever concept this record has, if it does, it is rooted more in realism and less in fiction, like much of their prior material.
Yeah, I agree with all that.
Okay. But it's like, I feel like you've given me a taste of what you want to say, but you haven't said it. You know what I mean? So I'm curious to hear if, like, with the next single, I start to understand better where we're going with whatever narrative this record carries. But it certainly reads like a very strong press release. It's rare that you and I, get one of these that feels so well considered.
While it still contains some of the faults, and you highlighted it, of a lot of other press statements, which is like painting too broad of a stroke and not actually.
Sometimes it feels like saying a lot without ever really saying anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
So even though this one uses like some bigger words, like I still at the end of the day don't really know what.
What's the mass hysteria? What are the in-group
message?
recriminations? What are we saying here?
And,
right.
And I think to be like, okay, well, the message is up for interpretation or something like that is not doing yourself any favors, and I think it's disrespectful to the audience. But then again, maybe we don't know how to read the Black Veil Bride's audience, so we're misinterpreting. I don't know.
This band will be playing the upcoming Long Beach, California date of the Vans Warped Tour on July 26th. Black Veil Bride's currently set at 2.4 million monthly listeners on Spotify.
Warped is back, ain't she?
It is indeed. Fit for a King of Unleashed new single, Witness the End, featuring Chris Motionless. New album Lonely God hits August 1st via Solid State Records and will feature previous singles Begin the Sacrifice, No Tomorrow, Lonely God, and Technium, featuring the Plot and Use Landon Tours. Marcus, what do you think of the song, the video, and the feature?
You got to start with the fucking feature, Sam. Chris Motionless looking like Chris Motionless of old.
Yeah.
2011 Chris Motionless.
Yeah.
Like he's doing a feature for, what was that band? Fucking
Upon This Dawning.
Upon This Dawning.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Bro, coming in with like the ghoulish little fucking hoodie thing that he's wearing.
Waving his arms around like he's fucking Voldemort casting spells and shit.
The whole video takes place in a church. There's like a dead tree. There's dead roots. Just a very fun looking video. Some stuff happening conceptually to wrap up like the quadrilogy between all these singles that has been there. I think 5 singles for this album?
5 total singles, yes.
But yeah, no, Chris Motionless comes in and it's crazy, bro. Chris Motionless, I don't think
bit of a scene stealer, isn't it?
Has ever missed. Well, it reminded me like how much I've missed seeing him feature. The last big like Chris Motionless feature I can remember is, and it was like more of a collab than anything else, like with Illenium. Does that sound right?
It actually does not sound terribly familiar.
No, Knocked Loose.
Knocked Loose, yes. That would be Slaughterhouse 2, correct.
Yeah. Which, honestly, I didn't quite feel as much as this track, but by a long shot, I think this track...
So, I
runs
think
circles.
a big part of why this works so well is how much Fit for a King have molded themselves to Chris Motionless style of delivery, and maybe arguably his most
his presence as well.
yeah, but it's not just it's almost like his personality, his presentation. It's almost like Fit for a King structured a whole song around having a Chris Motionless feature.
They structured a song to conjure his presence.
Mm.
Do you follow?
Yeah. It all takes place in a church, and he shows up like the devil. So, for all intents and purposes, I think your
Kicks the doors
metaphor
down
really
pretty
works.
much.
Yeah. I understand exactly what
I don't
you're
know. I
saying.
think it's a really excellent pairing.
It's fucking fantastic.
This is the type of stuff that I look forward to all the time. Is like big features with big bands. Like, let's keep all of the good fortune going across the entirety of the scene. Like, of course, one of the bigger artists in this scene should collab with another huge artist in the scene, right? Like, it makes total sense to me.
But it's also like the reverence of which they treat the feature. It's Chris Motionless showing up to the party like he's that fucking guy. You know what I mean? And I like that, right? Like, I like the energy. He also treats it like it's fucking, like he's showing up to his own goddamn fucking music video. You know, like everybody had a lot of fucking respect for what they were doing here. Thoughts on Fit for a King, for all intents and purposes, dropping a symphonic deathcore song?
This album is shaping up to be so special.
It's like all of these singles have been so unique from one another.
It's an undersell though. Like, that's an understatement. All of these songs, bro. The first single, oh my god, that's my favorite new Fit for a King song by a long shot.
You're talking about No Tomorrow.
Right.
Technically, Technium came out long before.
Yeah,
that.
Sure.
But I was with you. You and I watched that video for No Tomorrow. We're like, holy shit! Like, Fit for a King is like on top of the fucking universe right now. And then Lonely God was them kind of in their like metalcore bag, right? The nasty little heater. And then suddenly we get Begin the Sacrifice, and we're on that same wavelength as like a lot of these other modern metalcore bands, like The Plot and You, Bad Omens. If I like. Bring Me the Horizon or whatever, like all like just like having their minds fully wrapped around like how to make like these really strong melodic like grand anthem type songs. It's just like it's like everything that they've touched has been gold. Every single like style within the genre that they've tackled, they've done it like elegantly. It's just like it's incredible, like the consistency that they've had across all of these songs, given that they're all sort of like so stylistically different from one another. The band had this to say on the new single, quote, "We didn't care what anybody thought. We just wanted to write a deathcore song. It turned out to be really special. Chris did not disappoint either. Witness the End offers the most unpredictable experience of any song on Lonely God in terms of the lyrics. It was inspired by this Netflix miniseries, Midnight Mass, which follows an old pastor who claims he experienced a miracle and became an angel, and he was really just bit by a vampire whose blood gave him youth again," end quote.
Co-sign on Midnight Mass. Such a great show.
Great fucking show.
Mike Flanagan, the director, is fucking perfect. Everything he's ever touched is amazing.
I'm with you. The band will headline the Lonely God tour this fall with support from Make Them Suffer, Spite, and 156/Silence. Fit for a King currently command 1.2 million monthly listeners on Spotify. President have dropped new single Rage. Debut EP King of Terrors hit September 26th, featuring a total of 6 tracks, inclusive of previous singles In the Name of the Father and Fearless. Marcus, thoughts on this new song, the music video, and how excited are you for the debut EP?
Finally, a good fucking news story this week.
What the fuck?
Bro.
What the fuck?
Fucking president, baby. Keep
Okay.
them coming. I am all over this band. I fucking adore them. I know that they have bred so much unlistenable discourse, unreadable discourse all year long. I don't appreciate any of it. I think this band fucking rules.
Okay, sure.
I will echo one thing that I've seen mentioned though, which
so
is
you pay no heed to the discourse except this one little
bit of discourse.
little taste of it.
I think upon reflection, and especially after getting this track with the music video that accompanies it, I'm a little disappointed that the whole president political angle is really nowhere to be found outside of how the guy dresses and how he presents himself.
And the messaging around like
the
single
verbiage
releases and stuff
on
like
Twitter
that.
and social media, yeah. Because otherwise, like, I mean, a lot of people aren't wrong in that this band could have been even more exciting than they currently are if they really did take it past the limit in the same way that Ghost have, Sleep Token have, and really marry themselves to the way that they present themselves as far as like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, like at the end of the day, I don't know if the imagery I want to associate with president is two people doing interpretive dance inside of a church. I think I more so want to, and not in like a weird way, but like there is political type imagery. There are places that you can perform in front of during a music video that would take this all to the next level from a what's the word I'm looking for here? Like an immersion angle that we are that I'm coming to terms with the fact that we are likely not going to get, at least in this current era of the band or the anything here in the cycle leading up to the rest of the CP eventually releasing. And I do think that it is a little disappointing because evidently a lot of people thought that there would be something there.
So ultimately what you're saying is that
could
like
be a lot there.
The whole president narrative, the whole theatricality of it feels like a little bit of a misdirect because ultimately it really isn't touching on anything political. And you think that is a slight sticking point for you? I don't know that it is for me personally.
It's so, I mean, it's not in, when it boils down to the music, I'm not going to lie. I think Fearless has somehow managed to be my most played song of this year.
Fascinating. I don't remember you being that hot on it during its release.
I wasn't, you're not wrong. And it's only been like a short month since its release, I believe. It was like just ahead of Download that came out.
Mm-hmm.
And their first performance there. But between that track, In the Name of the Father, I'm really enjoying this track. It's got such a fascinating like sample of just someone repeating it like different like tones or fucking whatever, like just like just that
like
mixed
the,
with like the beat that it's laid
the frequency
over.
of like the cadence that they're delivering those ums at. Yes. Which is, you know, for all intents and purposes, just a trick of how they cut it and like sampled it.
So like at the end of the day, this band has shown me more or less 3 different faces of President. Like
without ever showing you one at all.
Well, they did technically show one.
Oh fuck, I forgot that's how the Fearless video ended.
But like, and I mean this like
another
sonically,
misdirect.
of course. Like we've seen some really heavier sides of this band, some not so heavy sides. I think like there's nothing here for me not to like, outside of the fact that I don't disagree with a lot of people in feeling slightly disappointed or slightly like the breath has been taken out of you or something, and seeing them not fully maybe commit to the bit that they have maybe presented
I think you're maybe paying a little too much credence to the individuals who have loudly said they don't like this band, while the millions of people who have been enjoying this project have just not been proclaiming it from the rooftops in the same capacity.
No, it is also really it's something I think about while watching this video. I just realized this is not the kind of video that I want to associate.
So that's
President
personal
with.
for you. It's not other people's opinions. That's how you feel about this video. Is that what you're saying?
It's giving some thought to that idea, right? And thinking to myself, like, okay, well, it's not this that I want.
I mean,
is it what other people are saying I should want?
I'm going to be brutally honest with you.
I think the middle.
The reason this band is so divisive, I really don't think comes down to just how political the whole project is ultimately. I think it's because for all intents and purposes, they've had an insanely quick rise to fame, and they've come out of the gate very hot. And in the punk scene, there's a lot of like respect paid to paying your dues. And, you know, for those in the know and might be more familiar with the individuals behind this project, and will understand that they've probably put in significantly more time, even if this individual project isn't one that's been around for decades and feels as if it's earned its popularity. There's also that combined with the President exists in the metal space while being, for all intents and purposes, something more akin to Sleep Token, which many people have deemed something closer to alternative pop than actual metal. I think that's where most of the discourse arises from, and I see significantly less discussion around President as a political project in any capacity. At least that's from my perspective, that's what I'm seeing. From someone who's in the trenches on the daily.
I guess I'm just not sure where that discussion is coming from here and now.
That you listen to a song like Rage, and because this band is sort of gaining a lot of traction, specifically within the metal space, but they're not, for all intents and purposes, delivering songs that metal fans feel really speak to the breadth of the genre in any way, even though at this point, you and I personally feel like you could stretch that definition pretty far based on the amount of variety we've gotten from quote unquote metal and metalcore projects.
No, I understand that that's the greater discourse around here. It's not clicking for me where this when this conversation took this direction.
It started at the very beginning where you said the one thing that I'm going to give the discourse around this project is that it's not that political.
Okay.
But I think, truthfully, I really don't think much of the discourse is even spurred off from that in particular.
Well, no, but it's a separate small branch in a greater tree of what
sure,
you're
but
saying.
That's my point. It's a separate small branch.
Right, but it's the only branch I'm acknowledging in that it is potentially correct, or that I'm seeing myself lean towards agreeing in.
Fair. I think that ultimately a lot of time is wasted around the discourse of this band in the same way that it's wasted around Sleep Token. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. That's fine. Ultimately, I circle back to still being fairly fond of President, though I might argue that Rage is probably my least favorite of the three singles.
That's all fair. I'm getting lost in all the discourse stuff again.
Let's reset that.
Well, in a way that I didn't want to, in the sense of like,
let's go back. Let's go back.
We know that that's the discourse with them.
6 total tracks. We've heard 3 of them. Do you think we'll get another single? Do you think we'll get 2 more?
I hope so. I hope they release fucking 7 songs off this 6-song EP, and everyone fucking hates this band for it.
Wow.
I'm so fucking... Of all the discourse in the entire fucking world that I'm sick and tired of,
this one
and
in particular,
fed up with, it's the whole fucking... I'm an adult who doesn't know how to stop listening to new music from bands I like. So the moment that they release more songs than I'm comfortable with officially being out in the airwaves before the album releases, like that person who can't control themselves, and or just the thought, oh my God, a band has put out, it's their job, by the way, to put out music. They've done this too many times, And whether I've heard these songs or not, it has somehow sullied the experience of checking out this new record for me. Either ignore it entirely and forget that it happened, or do not listen to these songs as they come out. Practice any bit of self-control imaginable.
I feel like we've maybe driven a little off course with the discussion about President in particular. Per the press release, quote, the title, which is a biblical reference, sees the EP address themes of darkness, religion, and the ultimate maker to life, death, end quote.
So again, that title, King of Terrors, I'm a huge fan of...
Big fan of the title.
Of this, but I also think because it's a little bit of like a double entendre-ish.
Which is what exactly?
For like some political stuff.
Okay, so you think maybe it's woven in and we just haven't picked up on all the nuances yet?
Sam, King of Terrorism.
The band will be supporting Architects on their EU headlining tour next January alongside Landmarks. President currently oversee upwards of 670,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. I will say this. I was sold enough on this band with this third single that I went ahead and ordered this EP immediately.
Wow. You support nepotism.
What? Nepotism?
It's also in the Discourse. I don't know.
Okay, sure.
It's the fact that they're not a... a baby. They're an industry plan.
I think moving forward, when we discuss this band, we need to focus a little bit on the product being delivered and our feelings on it.
So, I mean, okay, so hold on.
You want to circle back now?
Most anticipated EP for the rest of the year.
Sure. I can't think of another one off the top of my head that's been announced.
Okay.
Record, most anticipated record for the rest of the year?
Sure.
Yeah, you're putting President up there?
I think they've earned that spot. I am, make no mistake, I am fully in on this band.
I mean, I think there's definitely a certain amount of groundswell excitement around them that, yes, whatever President drops, whatever this EP ends up being, is more mysterious and exciting than a lot of the other known quantities in this scene. I'll give you that.
I do think some of it still stems, and I think it's something we've touched on both briefly and probably in like a longer form discussion, but like, dude, it feels so good not to know what the fuck this band's bassist looks like. It feels so good not to know what this singer looks like.
You don't even know how emo their bassist is.
I don't have to go follow this guy on fucking Instagram. I don't give a shit.
Okay.
Like, I'm just along for this. Is a band that looks weird as fuck releasing music. That's all that matters.
Okay. All right.
Good music.
I Prevail have released new single, Rain. New album Violent Nature drops September 19th via Fearless Records. It's the follow-up to 2022 full-length True Power and will feature previous singles Into Hell and the title track Violent Nature. Marcos, what's your vibe on this one? The upcoming album release, the music video, give me all of it. Except the Discourse. I don't want the Discourse.
Do you think this band was just, they were like, okay, first two singles, Violent Nature, Into Hell, unnamed album, we're gonna see how much people attach themselves to either
Which
single
song hits,
and that's the fucking title of the album.
I think that'd be a fun way to name every album, honestly. Whatever you drop 3 singles and whichever one speaks to the fans, just name the album after that, right?
Oh, you guys, yeah, we felt that way too.
Yeah.
Totally.
I mean, I think this kind of ties it. True Power, Violent Nature. I think they're sort of two sides of the same coin for me. I think this band is going for a certain sensation when they name a record. They want it to feel powerful. They want it to feel
I Prevail is like
larger than
gum.
life. Yeah. I Prevail is like chewing 5
expand
gum,
on that.
right? Of which my favorite flavor is rain.
Stop. I think you're right. I think you're
Yeah, I've
right.
connected the dots
I
for you
think
there.
you're fucking right.
So I think the thing that stood out to me in particular about this track in the music video was, first and foremost, instrumentally, I Prevail has become significantly more
Fucking
compelling.
Spearmint, he's right.
I'm dead on. So much more compelling instrumentally than they have been in the past. They really are speaking to the metalhead in me with this track and Violent Nature in particular. While Into Hell was something a little bit more akin to the Bad Omens universe of really melodic in like not electronic, but sort of like ambient core.
Okay.
Second thing, this band is like almost there with their music videos, in which they feel like they have big ideas, but they're not ready to fully commit to them. Like this band's performance in the music video is on the nose, right? It's them in the rain, headbanging. We get it.
Back with the director,
Intertwined.
I would guess, of the Violent Nature video, because this is very much not the guy who filmed the last video.
Yeah, and aesthetically like that and this one line up. But what's interesting is that the performance aspect of the band is intertwined with this World of Warcraft-esque elf demon who keeps like rubbing an orb. And I'm like, well, this is fascinating, but there's a very strong disconnect between that and the band's like I feel like I'm watching two things that exist in completely different universes.
Their performance, their wardrobe.
And I think we needed to like commit a little harder to the bit on this one. Like if you want to create this sort of fantasy world, you know, kind of like what you did with Violent Nature up top, where you had like the sort of like villains from the 21 Pilots universe, but in like a future tech world. And you were like performing almost against them in some capacity. We then sort of like spiral that narrative into this, which is like the band is trapped in a rainy globe. Maybe there's just like, it's not connected. And like you need to really sell what you're doing here. Like if you want to do this dark fantasy that seemingly you do based on like the fact that you would even present these characters to begin with, commit, connect. You know what I mean? Because I feel like we're so close. All of that being said, once again, this is probably my least favorite of the three singles, but I still think it's pretty strong, and I'm excited for this new album. I think the rest of the year is starting to fill out nicely.
It's starting to fill out okay.
I mean, suddenly, like, I'm looking at September, and I've got the brand new EP from President and the brand new album from I Prevail, and it's like, okay, we're starting to, like, push out a little further into the year.
Has this been
what?
And I don't think it's any fault of like I don't think it has anything to do with the iteration of the band. Is this the best run of singles they've had for an album?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I really liked Bow Down and what was it, Breakdown?
That might be right.
Like, I thought they came out of the gate hot with those two.
Sure.
True Power had some really good songs as well. But you're right. I am feeling a little more hooked than I have been in the past.
I mean, I'm just
right?
I'm reflecting on the past, and I don't think you've ever looked at an I Prevail release and said, September's got its superpower. Like, let's move on to October.
I'm with you. I think I'm giving this a little more reverence than I've given this band in the past. I agree.
I mean, I think this is loaded with good songs so far. Like I thought Rain was pretty solid. Into Hell, another pretty great track, and I think Violent Nature, the title track, is without a doubt one of this band's best. Man, I've been watching. You're about to get into it. So the band's currently on the Summer of Loud tour alongside Parkway Drive, Beartooth, Killswitch Engage, and more. I've been watching some footage of them performing Violent Nature.
They still in the show?
That shit looks fun.
I
I'm
bet
not
it
gonna
is.
lie.
Whether or not we end up at Summer Aloud, I can't say for sure. I'm not sure. I think that date probably hits us within the next week or
Past
so.
us.
It's past us.
I think it already
Well,
passed us.
that being said, looking forward to what will be assuredly the Violent Nature North American headlining tour, and whoever ends up
With
being on that too.
Beartooth and Killswitch Engage.
Right,
Yeah.
correct. Vocalist Eric Vanlerberg had this to say on the new track, quote, Rain was one of the first songs we wrote for the record. As time went along and more songs started filling up the track list, it continued to be one of my favorite tracks. Thematically, Rain deals with acceptance of things out of your control and finding clarity, end quote. I Prevail have accrued nearly 5 million monthly listeners on Spotify. Moving on. Erra have returned with a new single, Gore of Being. It's the first of 2 new singles the band released this month, with Echo Sonata dropping July 18th, the day of this recording. Marcos, what do you think of this new era of the band?
This new era of Erra. How
Yes.
many times have we done that on this show?
Got to be at least a dozen.
Every time we.
Yeah, every
spoken about
time they
them?
roll out. Yeah, so like 4 maybe.
Man, Gore of Being is pretty fucking tight. I really like this track. I think the video is a nice accompaniment. It doesn't like fully, like, everything about this doesn't like fully scratch the itch I need it to, like video wise, but like it's filmed very well. It
No band performance. It's like a compilation of like a
Yeah.
relationship between 2 individuals that ends in tragedy.
Sure. So like it's not quite all there, but I think the song kind of is. I really like this band always really knocks it out of the park as far as like imagery, like this the idea, like the words Gore of Being, it just being stuck in my head is like,
In the past, you've criticized this band's naming conventions on their songs.
that's the old Marcos.
You've now grown fond of it.
I've bro, when they're this good,
You appreciate how.
no, because you're not wrong, because Echo Sonata bugs the shit out of me.
Okay, well, never mind.
So
Reset.
they're not always. They're
Uh-huh.
sometimes
Still split on
They're
this.
getting better.
A little bit of color to this release. The band had this to say on the new single, quote, Gore of Being started as an idea that Clint, guitarist Clint Tustin, brought into the studio and marks his first songwriting contribution to the band.
Okay,
They also
Clint.
went on to share that lyrically, Gore of Being turned out to be a musing on mortality.
I'm not gonna like Gore of Being is such a good song title that like
It's strong.
you
It's
know how,
very
like,
strong.
it's a crazy example too, because
Sure.
like you know how Northlane was like, bro, Architects, the song Northlane, that shit's inspirational. We gotta name the band after it.
I see you.
The only difference is Northlane's kind of like a mid song title and sort of name.
What the fuck?
Bro, someone's gonna be like, we're called Gore of Being after Gore of Being by Erra. And like people are just gonna like the overall the entire crowd is gonna share that.
Yeah,
Whoever
you're right. The future of
vocalist of
Gent
this
is going to be
is.
called Gore
the
of
future
Being.
of Gent. Whole crowd just gonna be this came back in the future. Whole crowd's gonna be like, just everybody in the crowd.
I feel you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Marcos, and the band had this to say on the other single, Echo Sonata, quote, feels like a return to form for the band. It harkens back to the spirit of our Drift album, something we didn't initially plan on, but something our friends were quick to point out when we were showing them the song, end quote. Marcos, the vibe on this one is very much that it feels, I wouldn't say softer, but maybe leans a little heavier into Jesse and his vocal delivery, and certainly a technicality of some of the instrumentals that I suppose we all associate with Gent, of which Drift feels like one of the premier outputs of the genre when it comes to that.
Yeah, I think so.
All that being said, I'm I'm excited to see where they go with this. I'm assuming it's going to be a new album. Excited to get that announcement. Curious if we see more singles to coincide with them actually presenting that new record. I would imagine yes. I think
Cure's
I'm
not
fascinated how they dropped these two songs where they dropped like one in 1 week and then one in the next week.
Cure's May last year, isn't it? No Cure?
This is a very quick turnaround. And that was like hot off the heels of like Jesse's solo project. I think it was called Ghost Atlas.
Yeah.
And then Texas in July dropping like an EP too. So it's like very, very busy musicians. The band will be supporting Architects this summer in the US alongside Holy Water. Erra currently maintain over 740,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Couple more new songs, Margos. Currents have returned with a new single, It Only Gets Darker. This marks the band's first new music since the release of 2023 full-length record, The Death We Seek. Vocalist Brian Willey with this absolute gem of a press statement on the new track. Quote, embrace darkness, accept fate, surrender yourself, and feed the flame. It Only Gets Darker is now yours. End quote. Marcos, thoughts on the new song and the video?
Thoughts on the statement first?
Thoughts on the statement?
I like when a statement about a new song can just pass as Kubla Khan, like full song lyrics.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, accept fate, surrender yourself, feed the flame,
feed the beast.
It's like, all right, sure, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It is a bit of a gem of a press release. It's a gem of a nice one.
Release. Is it a gem of a song?
It is a gem of a song.
It is a gem of a song.
Current's definitely one of those bands where it's felt like a minute since The Death We Seek. It was about time to start putting some fucking, I don't know, microphone stands to the ground. I don't know.
Okay. It was time to get that ass back in the recording studio. Yeah. Well, they did, Marco.
Yes.
And this is the fruits of their labor.
How did you feel about the video?
I like it, like generally, because Currents are one of these bands who I think are really good about placing themselves in real locations. And then via the magic of an incredibly good videographer, creating something that feels realistic and holds a lot of weight to it and does it without the necessity to green screen this band on, you know, the side of a mountain in the middle of the Pacific, on a completely different planet, you know? Currents know how to do a lot with a little, which is something that I appreciate about them.
Is that Currents' reputation that they just don't do a lot of like green screen videos?
I think back to a lot of what this band has done, and I remember my favorite video from specifically the Death We Seek era was just them like in the middle of a field with like some drone shots and stuff, and it was incredible. And I think they're really sort of good at that specific thing. Yes.
All right.
And I think that's sort of becoming, I wouldn't call it a lost art, but I think to some degree within this space, a lot of bands have become very fond of placing themselves in sort of like this completely fictional universe. You know, I think recently to a string of music videos from Memphis May Fire that had them performing in like a crumbling building or something along those lines, which sort of takes me out of it a little bit because it doesn't feel real to me. Whereas just taking this band and putting them in a cemetery and being able to like pull in like those drone shots and really sort of like fill in the space around them ends up making a really cool music video. And it's almost like, I'm going to call it a lost art form, but it's certainly one that Currents is keeping alive. I think that Brian in particular really kills the vocal delivery on this. I feel like he shows a lot of versatility. And ultimately, this video does devolve into what feels like the fictional character in this story going fucking Super Saiyan for some reason. And I don't really follow the narrative to any capacity. I did, I guess, enjoy it, and it suited the song. Ultimately, all of this to say that I am excited for this next step in Current's career. I'm hyped to get a new album. I think this is a good kicking off point. It's all aces for Currents on this one.
Okay, love it.
The band will embark on the Bad Luck North American tour in support of We Came as Romans alongside After the Burial and Johnny Booth. Currents currently hold 1.1 million monthly listeners on Spotify. And finally, Waterparks have released new single Red Guitar.
And I'm fucking exhausted. The meter is running. Can imagine what it's costing.
This marks the band's first single since signing to BMG and is the follow-up to 2023 full-length album Intellectual Property. Fans will also remember the band initially intended to release a follow-up titled Intellectual Property 2 Lost in the Property, but the band decided to scrap that release. Marcus, I also have a gem of a press statement here from Austin Knight, vocalist of Waterparks. But before we get into it, I'm curious what your thoughts are on the song and this 12 a.m. edition music video is what the band is calling it. They said it's not the official video, but kind of like a holdover until that drops.
Fascinating. Okay. Good context. My feelings about this song is that it is not my favorite Waterparks song.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I was actually a little disappointed in this one.
Wow. All right.
I'm
surprised at this.
And it's not that I need this band to always sound a certain way or that I had massive expectations of this sounding one way or another. I think by the time it had ended, I was just like, okay, nice to have them back. This isn't a song that I feel like I'm going to go out of my way to go listen to again, or not again. More
wow. Did not expect this energy.
Not an on repeat staple in the way that, you know, something like, Gray Sweater Weather. What the fuck was that song called?
Funeral Gray.
Funeral Gray.
Yes.
And like Fuck About It featuring Black Bear and those types
Gray
of songs.
Sweater Weather would have been a fun name for a song.
Everyone's always said Waterparks are just
the neighborhood
American 1975.
Sure. I think I'm at odds with you a little bit here because I really enjoy this song, and I think it's because I am so immersed in the personality of Waterparks that any way they choose to present it, I find to be compelling and equally fascinating.
I can see that for sure. I think I'm more immersed in the feelings I was having around some of the stuff we got from Property 2.
Okay.
And this not quite being at the level that I hold some of that stuff to. And feeling just a little weird about it. And getting used to like Waterparks being pretty much all the same, but a little different.
You're starting to make me
New
feel like
label,
combative.
Different sound-ish. I'm starting to make you sound combative.
You're starting to make me feel combative, in which I need to go on both the defensive and the offensive at the same time here, based on how you're coming at this song. I think you're underselling this one a little bit. Granted, you are allowed your opinion, of course, but I had such a dramatically different experience in listening to this song. I thought it was a lot of fucking fun. I thought it was a great reintroduction to this band, while also still holding near and dear all of the things about Waterparks that I really enjoy, which would be Austin's writing style and the way that he seems to speak directly to his audience and is willing to illuminate so much of himself through his lyrics. For me, Austin Knight has always been akin to the Taylor Swift of our seed, which is to say that I feel like they really are willing to let everyone know themselves personally in ways that feel very personal. But I feel like I'm stepping over my own statement here. I guess ways that feel almost parasocial in nature. Which like you begin to, in the same way that people can spout off the narrative behind every Taylor Swift song and which individual person they dated that led to this fucking revenge fantasy tale that is being spouted over the course of 3 minutes. I feel very connected to the ongoing story that is Austin Knight's song as presented by the most quirky of alternative pop songs. And I think this very much carries forward the tradition in a way that is big, bold, and fun.
So again, not really my style.
Yeah, that's
Or
unfortunate.
not my favorite.
Let's see how you feel about this press release. Vocalist Austin Knight on the new track via Dork, quote, "This is the first song back from the best band in the world, Waterparks. After a year of trials and tribulations, we have arisen from the smoke like Captain America, or maybe Iron Man instead. I haven't seen most of those movies. However, Infinity War ended probably. R.I.P. Ant-Man. This is the best song from a band in the last 10 years. Ask anyone. Either this song or the next one will be our biggest one again. Ask anyone. R.I.P. Iron Man. Stream the song until we make physicals and then go buy one of those. It's a plaque attack, baby. I love you. God help us all. Thanks," end quote.
He's still got it, ladies and gentlemen.
He's a man of many disconnected thoughts. The band will be performing at this year's Reading and Leeds Festival alongside headliners Bring Me the Horizon, Chapel Rowan, and Travis Scott, amongst many more. Waterparks have amassed over 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify.
The Breakdown.
Marcus, we reviewed one album this week, A Funeral in Purgatory by Blind Equation.
This is the Chicago, Illinois Act's third studio album, released the 18th of July on Prosthetic Records. A Funeral in Purgatory was self-produced by the band's James McHenry, and it serves as the follow-up to 2023's Death Awaits LP, which I recall reviewing on this show, but Sam, you can fact check that.
We did.
For me. At the time of this recording, the band have nearly 12K monthly listeners on Spotify.
12K monthly listeners on Spotify.
Facts, yes.
Margos, where do I start with this one? So, as always, we'll give some thoughts on the record, give it a letter grade, and move on to the end of the show.
How strong has the itch been?
For a new Blind Equation record?
Yeah.
Fairly strong, on the basis that this is the only band within this realm of the alternative space that I've really sort of engaged with.
Okay.
Where so that last album came out and I'm like, Cybergrind, fuck yes. Which is the how this band self describes themselves,
it's a bit
right?
of a self-description. I mean, hell, on their like Spotify bio, which is written by someone not in the band, but obviously approved by them and their team. That's why it's there. Kind of allude to this being it's like the most natural progression from Nintendo Core or whatever the hell it's called.
And that's quite honestly what it is. I mean,
like that.
Blind Equation are fairly good at self-describing themselves, right? Like the idea that this is a video game soundtrack put through a Screamo filter is dead on, right? Cybergrind is this sort of like techno meets metalcore that feels like the highest evolution of early Attack and Asking Alexandria.
And it's actually really fascinating with this band because you say that. So Cybergrind, MySpace style, I mean, all that sort of stuff is like, you would expect there to be not a lot left on the on like the what do you paint on?
Well, like oh fuck.
The
You paint on a
fucking,
well, like a page or like
on the page. You
like
would
a mural.
Yeah, well,
I guess you
not
paint a
quite.
mural, but
You would expect there not to be a lot of like room left on that mural, but
I feel like it begins with like a letter P.
sure.
It's not a palette. That's like where you have all your colors, right?
So would not expect a lot of room
Not a
left.
frame. Keep going with this thought.
I lost it.
What do you mean
You're
you lost it?
killing
You don't have a
me.
lot of room left
You're
when you're
killing me.
when you're painting this grand painting on a
Stop.
paint on
Oh my god. Like you say like cybergrind, and in your mind it's like, okay, that's sort of what this is.
canvas. Thank you.
You would expect not a lot of room to be left on that canvas for like other things, but the way that they incorporate like things like bedroom pop, just all of these different genres, the way that they blend them into their sound, the immediate expectation is that there is no chance this is going to work. It's going to sound, it's just going to sound like you put everything in a blender and like it's just this gray mush that comes out. But
We're on
it's
the same
always
page here.
so vibrant.
We're on the same page here.
So like
these are my
varied,
exact thoughts.
yeah.
It's incredibly cohesive for what it is, because for all intents and purposes, this is probably one of the more experimental things that we've covered on the show. And for what it's worth, that can honestly be very off-putting to like a general audience, right? Somebody who fancies themselves into alternative style of music will often run into something like this and find that they can't quite conceive what is being like played for them, right? Like this ends up being a little bit of off-putting, but I think what is so fascinating about Blind Equation is how extremely talented they are at sort of like taking what feels like a million ideas and being able to like tightly wrap it in a package that is digestible in spite of its presentation, right? So even though this is maybe one of the most like experimental, in your face, like abrasive styles of screamo that you and I have covered on the show, I think Blind Equation is able to deliver it in a way that is incredibly digestible while keeping it very textured and layered and focused, and being able to find these moments to really let it breathe. I think there's like 3 different small instrumental moments throughout this record, and I would say they are critical to how successful this album is over the course of the entire runtime. The way that it sort of helps like ease you into the next track, and some of those transitions, there's one track in particular on here which isn't even named. It's truly just like a collection of like symbols.
Sure.
It looks like a AOL away message when you try to get creative with it, but the way that track plays into In Purgatory is fucking flawless and beautiful. And I think that how this band also goes back and it harkens to those moments from, like I said, early Attack and Asking Alexandria, when you would do these hard pivots into an EDM dance moment, like one for the club, you know, like one for the metalheads and one for the club, all wrapped in the same song. Blind Equation is bringing that back into 2025. And it's something that like you don't realize how much you miss it until you hear it again, and the level of like nostalgia that arises in you.
Rewinding back to a point you made a lot earlier, is just the fact that like, man, you hit play on this record and within 20 seconds, it's funny that like you call this such an experimental album, to the point where like this may very well be the most experimental album that you'll listen to this year, but within 20 seconds, I feel like I've wrapped my head around it completely. And I mean that in like the best imaginable way. And I don't know if it's a matter of like, okay, is it just experimenting with a ton of sounds that I really love? And like,
I think it's
is
the
it
credit
just
to
that? It's yes.
I think
but
it's
like,
the credit to the artist. I think that's where you give the credit to the artist. I think Blind Equation is really good at translating all of these ideas they have into something that like is really palatable and something that you can wrap your head around. So even if on the surface this feels like, you know, a bunch of colors thrown against a canvas, like you take 2 steps back and you see the vision.
Yep.
And I think that's what's really incredible about this. And I think that's what's really incredible about Blind Equation as a product.
It's also very hypnotizing. And I guess that's what I mean too about it feeling so familiar, and you just immediately feel comfortable, listening to this
Entranced
record.
almost.
Yeah, hypnotized, entranced. This is absolutely an example of a record that you press play on, and before you know it, you're like on your third straight listen of it, and it's not getting old, anything like that. It's just, this is such a sound, like the overall sound of it for like the 30 minutes that you spend with this record is just so like comforting that you don't want it to stop.
And there's a lot to pick at, and I think that's what helps those repeat listens in particular. I think that for all intents and purposes, like, this really speaks to my sensibilities as someone who's like spent years of his life praising a band like Icy Stars for how well that they've always been able to integrate electronics into their style of metal, you know, and watching like that band sort of like transform and grow over the years to now get something like Blind Equation, which feels like had someone like Icy Stars gone into a completely different direction, but still sort of maintained a lot of the core ideas that drove that project early on. Well, that's what Blind Equation is to me, and I think that's what really neat about them. Overall, I found this to be a really fascinating listen, and I think Blind Equation continues to be a really exciting artist within this space, and overall, I think that this maintains the overall project as being one that fans of alternative music still need to go and check out, which I think if you were to go back and listen to my thoughts on the last record, I probably reiterated this exact sentiment, and it's one that I'm gonna stand firm on. Ultimately, I don't know where this would land in like my favorite records of the year. I don't know that it's necessarily I would put it in like a similar space to that Darko album that you and I were discussing just earlier in this episode, where I think like its experimentation makes it like one of the most exciting releases of the year. And I think I might be slightly more favorable to that than I am to this. So I would go with like a very solid B+ here, with room for this one to really grow exponentially on me for the remainder of the year.
I feel like it took a lot of like struggle internally to land on that.
It did, because part of me wanted to go slightly higher, but now I'm starting to play this game where I'm like, I'm pitting this record against everything else I've listened to this year, and I'm trying to keep that in the back of, like, I'm trying to like keep that in the back of my head, in the front of my mind, like that. Not only how do I feel about this record, but how do I feel about this record stacked up against all the other releases that I listened to over the course of the year, right?
Yeah. I will agree with you. This is a B+.
It's like a B+, A-. You know what I mean? It's like I'm really tight on there.
I mean, it's just a little on the shorter side. I like that we have a song that's like fucking 6-7 minutes long.
Mm-hmm. But I like that we also have like these little 1-minute instrumentals too. Right?
I like them too, but I think ultimately they take away. It's so hard because
disagree hard on this if you think it takes away from anything on this record.
I didn't finish the thought. Shut the fuck up. I didn't finish the thought.
That was a preemptive disagreement.
It doesn't count. It's also interesting because this is one of those albums where I almost just consider it a full like 25-minute song. Like there's just
yeah, I'm kind of with you. Like I think that the way this record plays out, like the way it's structured, it flows very well. So in that sense, I guess I agree with you. But I think the way that it's cut doesn't make me feel as if it's one long singular track. No, but that it flows very well, I agree with.
Okay.
That's
we're more in agreement than you think we are.
We're more in agreement. This is a heated agreement right now. Thanks everybody for listening. If you're hearing us on Spotify or Apple, please leave 5 stars. If you're watching us on YouTube, please drop a comment and leave a thumbs up. Thanks. We love you. Bye.
Good play.